Hello, welcome back. This is the last lesson that we have. So after this should bring you right up to kind of the beginning of the school year, where we'll kind of get right into the textbook once the year starts. So solving two-step equations. Now, if you look at this little formula thing we have up here, you have a P, then you have the parentheses x plus q equals r. So if you remember from distributing the video right before this, we're actually going to need to distribute this variable. Well, it's a variable right now, it's a letter, but it'll be a number. You have to distribute that into this little expression before you can solve. So it just adds one extra step. So I guess in theory, it's technically three-step, solving three-step equations, which are then called multi-step once you get past two. But the title of this lesson is solving two-step equations. This is kind of the form or the formula you'll be looking at. So let's kind of get into some problems right into it. I feel that we're ready for this, hopefully. Okay, I know some of these numbers like the equals negative 86 seem kind of a large number, but we'll be all right, we'll get through it, okay? So, first things first, you see this, first thing you see that, well, I have a negative 2 and I need to multiply it by that whole expression. The expression is 3 plus 8a, and all that is going to equal negative 86. Well, first, kind of notice that the expression is the second term inside, your variable is the second term inside of the expression, and that's fine. First, we need to distribute, and then we'll kind of see what we have. So by distributing, if you remember, we're going to multiply these. For this part, for this lesson, you do not have to write out. I'm going to do it right now, but for every example, I'm not going to do it. You do not need to write this out. Minus 2. 8a equals negative 86. You do not have to write this step out. We did it last lesson because there was only one step and then you were done. This one requires more steps. So if you went in your head, you want to go ahead and multiply negative 2 times positive 3, and you know that that gives you a negative 6, then you can do that. You don't have to write this. If you feel that it's best for you to write this and show all your steps, I'm okay with that. All right. Let's see. Then negative 2 times a positive 8 is a negative 16a. Again, this little step right here is not needed to be written. You can do this in your head at this point. I will allow it. Last lesson, I needed you to show it, okay? And then of course equals negative 86. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we're going to take this and we're going to, remember we're multiplying. This goes back to when we first started solving two-step equations. This is what we have. We have a two-step equation. Just a lot of negatives and kind of weird stuff here, so doesn't look very fun. Let's see. All right, so what we're gonna do here, multiplication, this needs to stay. This negative 16a stays here together. That's gonna move down, so we need to get rid of this minus 6, this negative 6. So we do the opposite, which would be add 6. Add 6, we get negative 16a equals, different sign, subtract, take the sign from a larger number, we get a negative 80, okay? Now, we're multiplying by negative 16, so since we're multiplying by negative 16, we need to divide by negative 16. Divide by negative 16, divide by negative 16, a equals, same signs, positive. Now we just find out how many times 16 goes into 80. I believe it's 5. Another method on doing this, you can try to divide it out. You can guess and check. 16 times 5, that's 30. Yep, it is 80. Okay, so it is 5, so it's a positive 5. These problems, you can also plug your A back in up here, or you can plug it in here and kind of confirm your answer if it's correct or not. All right, let's do another one of those. That one's kind of a crazy one to start out with for the first one. Let's see if we can find one not too crazy. And a lot of these are. Okay, so a lot of the answers on your homework, or a lot of the problems on your homework, might be a little out there when you're doing your last little problem. So, but that's fine. It's math. We got to be ready for it. All right, up here. So again, first thing, you see the parentheses, you see a number in front of the parentheses, the negative 5. You must distribute the negative 5. So we'll go ahead and distribute that first. negative 5 times positive 5a. Okay, different signs are negative, and 5 times 5 is 25, and then you bring your a. So negative 25a, negative 5 times a positive 1 is a negative 5. The negative on the 5 becomes a subtraction sign, negative 5, equals negative 155. All right, again, multiplication is going on here, so that stays for the end. We must add the 5 first. Add 5, add 5. They cancel out. Let's see, let's do this all the way across. Negative 25a equals, different sign, subtract. Negative 150, and then you take the sign from a larger number. Okay, now we need to find out how many times negative 25, oh sorry, I need to divide, I got ahead of myself. We are multiplying by negative 25, so you must divide both sides by negative 25. Okay, cancel out. A equals, 25 goes in 150. Usually when I'm dealing with 25s, you can count 25, 50, 70. I like to think of quarters. So how many quarters in $1.50? That's 6. However you kind of want to think about it. But it is 6, and there's both negatives with the same signs. So same signs positive, and that's your answer. All right. What I'm going to do at this point right now, let's see, are there any? At this point, they're all just like this. So we're going to probably do 3 examples, and I'm going to have you work them out. That's kind of the best way, and then you can see how I work it out. So if you get it wrong, then you can see my steps and my method, and you can kind of compare on what you did and find out what you did wrong so that you're more prepared for the work. All right. All right, let's do this. Let's see. 2 times 8c plus 2 equals 132. All right, I want you to go ahead and get started on this one and see what you have. Now don't forget, parentheses mean distribute, so make sure you distribute that 2 before you start to solve. Go ahead. All right, so one other thing I just thought of. We need to be distributing. I want us to get used to distributing. There is another way. If there's someone might be trying to help you at home or whatever the case is, and they might say, well, can you just divide by 2 first and then solve? You can, but I need us using the distributive property and getting used to that and being familiar with that and being able to see that. So I need everybody distributing first, okay? So let's distribute the 2. 2 times 8c gives us 16c. 2 times 2 is a positive 4, so plus 4 equals 132. All right? Now again, the 16 and the c is multiplication. That's a bond that stays together. We need to do the 4 first. To get rid of the positive 4 or the plus 4, you subtract both sides by 4. This gives us 16c equals, and then different signs subtract, so we're going to subtract 132 and 4, gives us 128. Okay, and then you need to divide both sides by 16. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know this off the top of my head. So what I'm going to do, and this is what I suggest you to do, is to do some guess and check. So 16 and 128, so let's go, we had something earlier that was 5, I don't remember what that was, 5 and 80. So let's try 8. 16 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48. 8 and 4, oh, I got lucky. I didn't know it, I promise. So 128, so it actually ended up being 8 times, so our answer is 8. These are same signs, so same sign is always positive. So I got lucky on that one. So if you happen to be low, if I would have chosen 7 and I was low, then try 8. Kind of guess and check until you find that number. Okay, because again, on my tests and quizzes, you're not going to be using a calculator for this part. So you need to be familiar with not using, hopefully, a calculator at home, so that in a situation where on the test you're familiar with guessing and checking or whatever method you like to use to be able to find that. All right, so hopefully you got that. C equals 8. And let's see, let's keep going. let's do, here we go, 6 times -5, let's go with a y, plus 4 equals 174. All right, there's that one. Again, start with distributing and then solve. Go ahead. All right, one of the first things you should notice is 6 times -5y. 6 times 5 is 30. Different signs are negatives, and then you bring your y. So -30y. 6 times 4 gives us a positive 24. And then we have equals 174. Now, this made me think of something. Please don't take your 6 and multiply by 174. Only multiply by what's in the parentheses. 174 is not in the parentheses, so don't multiply by that. This is only multiplied by the expression inside the parentheses. All right, now we continue on. So we have, again, multiplication here, so this needs to stay. This bond is stronger. We need to work on this addition. So adding 24, the opposite of adding 24 is subtracting 24. We now have -30y equals 174 minus 24. Okay, different signs subtract. 4 and 4 is 0. 7 and 2 is 5. I got 150. Okay, and it's positive because 174 is larger and 174 is positive. Now, we are multiplying here by -30. So the opposite of multiplying by -30 is dividing by -30. This gives us y equals 30 goes in 150. Should be -5 times. Okay. Another way to think of it, the zeros kind of cancel out. So 3 goes into 15 5 times, and then different signs negative. So we have -5. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Last one, I promise, for real. All right. I'll leave that one up. And again, you can take them and plug these answers in and work them out. It's a little bit more work than the problems a couple videos ago to kind of check your work, but you can still do it. Last one. Let's go. I don't think I've done this one. I've lost track of what we've done and what we haven't. I don't think we've done this one. But let's see. I feel like 86 was a number we've done, but let's go. All right, let's look at this one here. Again, -2 is what we need to be distributing in. Remember the negative, okay? The negative is going to change the signs and you'll see. I don't want to give too much. Go ahead and work it out and see what you get. All right, whether this works. Last one here. -2 times a -6n. -2 times -6. Same signs positive, so we have a 12n. Okay? -2 times a -2 times a positive 7. Different signs -14. Equals -86. All right, so again, 12 times n, that stays together. That's a bond we're not going to break yet. We're going to work and focus on addition and subtraction. So we have a subtraction here. So the opposite of subtracting 14 is adding 14. These cancel. 12n equals, over here we have different signs, okay? So we have different signs subtract. So -72. Okay, now we need to be able to find out division, how many times 12 goes into 72? Because you're multiplying by 12, so we need to divide both sides by 12. N equals, now again, you can guess and check on these. So 12 times what? Let's try 12 times, what's 12 times 5? Let's find out. 5 times 2 is 10. That's a 6, 60, not there yet. We're short, so we need to go up one more. The answer is going to be 6, but I want to show you guys 12 times 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6, 72. We have 72. 72 is what we want, so the answer is 6, but don't forget your sign. Different signs negative. So the answer here is -6. I hope this helps. It's been a good summer. I hope that you guys have felt that you've really learned a lot from this and that you're ready for us to get back into textbooks, because again, this is all stuff, these are kind of materials and things that are taught in the textbook and the Math 2 7th grade math class. So hopefully you guys will be able to kind of hit the ground running and be ready for the next level of math that we're going to get into in August. Thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon in the classroom.